Yummy, yummy, because Canadians, that's us, unfortunately throw away about 40%, can you believe it, of the food that we shop for, which translates into approximately $6,000 per year. And our hard-earned money, that's going straight in the trash. So we want to change that. Joining us this morning with some expert tips on how to save money on groceries this year is home economist Marilyn Smith.
Yay!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you too. And you know what? That stat is actually a bit wrong.
Is
I'm
it?
sorry.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
It's $1,500 to $1,600.
Oh, wow.
Because
okay.
it depends on who you are. So a lot of people throw proteins away, which that's going to jack up the price of how much you're throwing away.
Yes.
But if you're throwing away what normal Canadians throw away, which is mostly produce and dairy and baked goods, it works out to be about $1,500 or $1,600, which is still a ton of money.
You're already saving us money.
I'm saving you money.
You're already saving money. And I know you've got a great soup to deal with some of that sort of throwaway in a little bit, but we're going to start over here. We're actually going to start with shopping our own fridges and pantries and everything before we even go out to the grocery store.
So that's your biggest tip, is that because if you don't, then you're going to end up throwing that money away as well. But how do you actually make that happen? So when I open my fridge, I see possibilities and recipes. And if you don't know how to cook, then you're just seeing stuff, right?
Yes.
So you really need to know how to cook. So there's lots of online classes, or you can watch me on Instagram on Fridays. And here's a huge plug. At 1 o'clock, I do a free home ec class. It's about 20, 25 minutes. You'll learn how to cook.
Slap on Instagram.
Slap me on Instagram,
Beautiful.
And there I am, yakking my face off and having a good time.
At
So
Marilyn
I'll
Smith?
teach you at Marilyn Smith.
At
right.
Marilyn Smith on Instagram.
So then you get your grocery list, and then you don't delineate from it. You take that grocery list, and unless there's something on sale. And I always go to the meat department and the bakery department.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say that I love that this is your grocery list in like old school pad and paper.
Oh, yeah.
You make my heart sing.
Oh, no, come
None
on.
of this technology, none of those apps.
No.
Just go with the pen and paper.
No,
Marilyn says so. Okay, great. I love that.
Old school, old school. So that's 50% off meat. That's unbelievable. I love it. We're going to have that for dinner tonight. My husband's so thrilled.
Okay, great.
The bakery, I'm going to have bread. I'm going to have a French toast or maybe scrambled eggs with toast because it's a bit stale. So, you know, breakfast for dinner.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful way to save money.
Yeah, don't just walk by that cart. Really take a look. There's some really good things on there.
There is. It's like a treasure hunt.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, now extending your proteins is another great way to save money. So your favorite meat sauce or shepherd's pie or whatever, you can actually use a can of lentils, drain it, rinse it, and then add it to your meat sauce, shepherd pie. You're going to extend the protein, so instead of having 4 servings, you now have 8.
Okay, so at the same time, so there's meat in here, but then there's also the lentils just to, again, make it a little bit more volume.
Exactly, and
Fabulous
also you're putting fiber in, and hello, I am the queen of fiber, so
you are.
I'm happy for that.
Okay.
All right, if you're a vegetarian, this is one of my favorite tips. A block of extra firm tofu, smash it all up, put it into your favorite pasta sauce, and dinner's got protein in it. It's economical. My husband always says, Marilyn, would you make that pasta with the feta cheese? And I go, sure. Anyway, and so...
And you've been married for how long?
Oh, a long, long time.
Yeah, long time.
Anyway,
there you go.
you know, here's the deal. Now he knows. Anyway, sorry, honey, I've been lying to you. Anyway, so
she's spilling the tea. But it's funny, when I looked at that, I actually thought it was feta. That was where I was in my mind too. So I'm the same as your husband.
And they won't be able to tell. It has a very bland flavor. Just use a really strong tomato sauce. So that's a great tip.
Okay, don't be afraid of the tofu because sometimes people don't know how to buy it. But I think extra firm is a good way to start, right?
That's the tip.
Yeah.
And mash it up with a potato masher.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to tomato sauce, because we're extending proteins here, you know, a glass is going to be more expensive. That's about $5.49. This is about $2 for sauce, and this is about $1.50 for crushed tomatoes.
Wow!
So you're going to save money that way. Now, if you're
From
going to
glass
use
to can, okay.
if you're going to use the crushed tomatoes,
yeah,
and also no name's always going to be whatever no name brand you want to use. Add your own dried herbs, but the trick on saving money on dried herbs is to buy in bulk, or to buy a no-name brand and then put it in your own glass jars.
Smart.
Case in point.
Yeah.
So this is kind of an average, that's actually worth about 2 cloves of garlic.
Okay.
This is Ontario garlic. This is almost my last garlic.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here we go. His face there.
There we are.
Okay, so now, guess how many cloves go into this to make a package of dried.
Oh gosh, we're testing me. Oh gosh, where's my chef Rodney when I need him? I don't know.
And chefs are screaming.
10? 15?
42. 42. So that's a huge savings. Now,
Marilyn, I know that number well. Anyway. I'm familiar with that number. Okay.
Okay, so I know chefs are going, but you know what? You're going to save money. Just get over it.
Yeah, well,
Powdered
we're talking
garlic's
about the
great.
economics, and there are certain ways you can save money, and maybe the flavor, okay, not the most, but then you get it over here, right? Just like fashion. You're mixing high and low, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the way you looked at it. Okay, local produce.
This is the soup.
Always save it. You're always going to save money. Now, this represents 43% of the money that you usually throw away from groceries.
Wow.
We get rid of our produce. We let it rot in the, sometimes called it the vegetable drawer. We call it the rotting in the drawer. For, you know, so
That's true. Well, we think we go grocery shopping. We think I'm gonna be this person. I'm gonna eat all this stuff.
Yeah. Well,
and
you
then,
should.
Well, you should. Okay, I will.
You should.
Just let's talk about the soup really quickly because we've got
I
about
gotta
30
do this
seconds
one.
left.
Okay, 30 seconds.
There.
I'll go
Okay.
fast. Well, I make a soup once a week with clean your vegetable drawer
smart.
out soup. But this is just a really good example. We're spoiled.
Okay.
We want fresh blueberries to come all the way up on a blueberry bus from who knows where, and we're paying their trip up. It's $3.99 for a cup for fresh.
Yeah.
Canadian frozen ones are $1.19 for the same cup. So I switch to frozen vegetables that aren't in season, frozen fruits when they're not in season, and I go local to save money as well. So,
Smart.
yeah, you know what? Learning
Delicious,
how to
right?
cook is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So learn how to cook, and this all makes sense.
Okay, when your
Yeah.
Instagram live again is Fridays at 1 p.m.
Yeah, and it's Marilyn, M-A-I-R-L-1. Marilyn Smith.
Marilyn Smith with
She's
the
Irish.
I.
We've talked about
We
it.
have. We
Yeah.
love it so
Oh,
much,
there
and we're
you
going to
go.
celebrate you next. Marilyn, thank you for all that.
Thank
That was
you.
fantastic.
Thank
I know
you.
where we can find you because we've said it a bunch of times.
Okay.
So thank you for being here. Thank you
Pleasure.
always for giving us the tips that we need.